Alright, so now we're going to focus on modeling the main forms of our moon truck here, and that will consist of the cab that you see here on the left and the main body. Both of those are made out of spheres, and the main part of this and strategy throughout the whole modeling is that we're actually only going to model half of our form. We're going to take advantage of the symmetry. We're going to let the program do the modeling of the other half. This is called pseudo geometry or instances. What's great about it, it continually updates. If you need to export it or actually have geometry, you can go in and actually have the program create it for us on that part. But let me show you this real quick underneath the object lister. Symmetry is actually a toggle on a layer. So in here, in the object lister on the body layer, there's the option right there. Once I turn it off, you can see how I only got half of it. So any of these details as I work on them, when we have symmetry turned on, it'll show us the other half. So it's really neat to do that. Alright, so let's get started on this. So back and open up the file that I just created in the previous lesson, video demo version 1, and delete all objects. Yes. Alright, so now what I need to do is create the two spheres and put them in. We're first going to start off by just putting one in, rotating it correctly, going kind of a long way through setting it up, and then I'll try to show you how to take advantage of the aspect of which window you start in. It will orient things a certain way. So I'm going to start here in my perspective window. So let's go underneath the surfaces tab. There's the sphere. Choose that. Simply type in a 0 to put it at the origin to start off with. I can remember with this jack here, if I grab right in the middle when I'm in the case of movement, I can move this up, which I'll go ahead and do. And I want to start scaling it, but I need to kind of rotate it like that to get it to work. Now, I want to be able to split this in half later on so that, once again, take advantage of the symmetry. One thing, let me see if I can show this to you. If I do Alt-L, zoom up, and then do the shade, this little line right there, that darker edge or a little bolder edge, is actually the seam of the sphere, kind of where it begins and ends. If I try to split this right through here, it doesn't work. In essence, I got to detach one side. So one thing I need to do, besides rotating it this way, is also start rotating it that way, so that that seam is kind of laying down on the side, and what I'll end up with is a line that runs all the way around that I can easily detach the form with. Now that I started it, I need to kind of make sure it's 90 degrees. So I'll do Shift and Control, right mouse button, go up and say Information Window, look under Transform, and let's see which one. I think it's this one, the X. Yes, you can see it's updating there. So I'll go ahead and put in 90 there, and I'll make sure it's that way. The rest of this is, or that angle right there, is what I started rotating this as. Okay, so let's now switch to scale. Scale it proportionally. Kind of get both sides going at one time. Now I'll go this way, and it's a matter of just kind of playing with it, getting it in the right spot by switching to different modes here. I need to rotate it, just looks like a little bit more. Maybe pull it up a little bit there. So using the jack, it's mainly just about going through and tweaking this. Now it's a little bit off. Rotate a little bit more. Let's move it up, and then do a little non-proportionate scaling. Great, that looks pretty good. Alright, now let's get this split and turn on symmetry. So I'm going to say pick nothing. So underneath Object Edit here, there's the tool called Attach, and right behind it is Detach. Okay, so if you click on an isoperm, now let's turn off Shade just to see this. If I click right there, I can basically say anywhere along here I want to split, but I really want to be right there on that. So if I do my third snapping, snap to a curve, which is Control and Alt together, I can snap right back on that isoperm and hit go. Now I split the sphere into two halves. If I say pick nothing, pick object, and I select that side, and then do Alt A to delete active, there's half my sphere. Okay, and then if I go to Windows, Object Lister, right mouse click on this and say I want to insert a new layer. We'll call this body again, or bodies. Let's let's call this the cab, actually. We'll do things a little bit different here. We'll assign it to that. I'm going to pick it. Hang on. Now, also just a real quick aside, you can twizzle these open, also middle mouse click and drag and drop things from one layer to the other here in the object lister. Now that it's in there, I can twizzle that open to see it. I can right mouse click and go down and turn on symmetry. And there's my other half. Okay, so that's one. Now let's just close this one down, move over here. Now I'm going to try this. Let's see if it's going to work. So I'm going to start the sphere tool, but I'm going to make sure I click in the left window to start off with first. Remember, go back to surfaces, hit sphere, and kind of this time eyeball it right in there. What it does differently this time is that it starts it oriented correctly. I don't know if you can notice that. Oops, meant to turn that off. Let's do that real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, so it is oriented correctly as far as the rotation and all that we were going to do for symmetry. So I'll start scaling this up and over and up a little bit and start to get it the right size. It's almost width, but we need to do a little bit larger vertical there. And just to tweak that way. Alright, just to tweak and scale. Awesome. Once again, I'll spin around and say pick nothing. Got to detach it again so I get symmetry. So I'll go up to the Object Edit tab. There's Detach already available. Once again, click on the isoperm that I want to detach to go back and actually select it. Shift and Control right there on it. Hit go. Now we split it. Pick nothing. Pick object. Pick this back half. Now it's highlighting all because this is the interesting thing. If you have an object that's fully visible on a symmetry layer, it kind of does both sides. But watch when I do the Alt A again, it'll get rid of. Oops, did I detach it? Hang on, let's see. Yeah, there's the one half. There's the other. Maybe I accidentally picked both. There's that sphere. All right. So it's actually that one I want to pick. Let's try that again. Alt A. There we go. All right. And real quick check. Turn symmetry off. There goes the other right half. Now I want to do one thing. I want to insert a new layer. We'll call this bed. We'll take that and once again drag it and drop it on that to move it down. And we'll turn on symmetry for that layer as well. Okay, so good. There's my two main forms. Let's turn symmetry back on that one. Set up and ready to go. Now I can start detailing it out, and we will first detail it out in the what do you call it? The cab. But before I get there, I did realize, I forgot all about the widths here. So let's get that. But I also noticed my canvas somehow got shifted around accidentally. So let's go make this pickable again. Go select the, I think it's the back, they call it here. Yep. Do middle mouse button move. Just kind of eyeball it in. I'll actually use these tires right there as a way to kind of evenly do it. Now I need to select these. Let's start with this one. Before I forget, let's put this back to a template. Okay, and I can turn the jacks back on right there if I want to, and just do a quick little non-proportional scale. That's good. And let's see if I can click on this one. Nope, nothing. Pick object. You can also do underneath here and also in the middle mouse button, there's non-proportional scale. And the way this works, it goes by orthographic view. So let's just use the top view to kind of get a good size. There we go. Awesome. Okay. You can do either way to do the scaling. All right. So let me do a quick file save as video demo 2. And the next one will be the details in the front cab area.